You know the craze about it's a flat earth and it's not a round earth and all these strange proofs that the world is flat? Well, I know most of you discount them out of hand, but if you're a Mensa kind of person, well, you better get ready. If you're going to be Mensa, you better know flat earth theory inside and out. You gotta know it inside and out because there might be a Mensa question on it. Well, because they're mind puzzles. When you go on to one of these, revelation of the method on Instagram, does it? I'm not sure. That's one you can check out all the same. They just usually have like flat Earth hashtag flat Earth. Well, go look at because you're going to say, oh, it's just too stupid. No, go and look for Mensa because the people who put out Flat Earth are smart kids. They are. They're very smart. They're very smart. They're very smart. It doesn't mean that they're giving you the truth, though. It's like watching those magicians on TV fool us, Penn and Teller. That's what watching Flat Earth people talk is like watching Penn and Teller perform. Because they're really smart. There's super smart people that are putting out flat earth. Is it true? I can't tell you because it's mind puzzle. It's like a Rubik's Cube. Way back in the day. So look it up because if you're bored and you need something for your because you're going to go, okay, I can figure it out, no problem, because you're going to remember, okay, I learned all this stuff. When did I learn this? Well, probably in like grade 2. And then we did it in orbital physics in high school. And you probably talked about climatic zones, latitude and longitude in geography. Also in physics, when you did rays, like an incident sunlight ray comes in and hits water and it refracts. Remember all that? Wow, that's cool stuff for, a 12-year-old me. Young Sheldon probably too. Yeah, so I don't know. Oh, well, okay, what if you didn't like the subject and your eyes are rolling? I didn't do well in geography. I didn't do good in math. Physics, I cut class. I failed the course. I don't know. I took something else and I passed, anyways. But I don't never understand. Well, I had the same problem in first year calculus at university. It was totally in over my head. I had to drop the class. It was over my head. Well, I don't know. The next year I had to take the course. Well, I took an alternate. It was the course for dummies. I passed that course. I understood it. The teacher took all kinds because everybody was like me. You're just dumb. Just dumb. I don't know, and I don't know. I don't know. It just was what it was, and I don't know. Do I know anything about that? I don't know, because I think it's in there somewhere. I wish I had my high school textbooks, the original ones that I used. Because a lot of times over the years I've wanted to go back to those particular textbooks to go and reread what they said. And especially now that I've, learned that Ghislaine Maxwell, I don't know, was she found guilty or not? I think she was found guilty. Wasn't she found? I don't know. I don't follow mainstream news. That she was the girlfriend of Jeffrey Epstein and Prince Andrew and all those Hollywood celebrities who went to Epstein's Island. And her father, Ghislaine Maxwell's father, was Robert Maxwell, who owned all the newspapers and publishing companies, including Macmillan Books in Canada, who put school textbooks into schools. And I know we use Macmillan. Some of them were math, I think. And those were some of the math textbooks I would wish I had. Because I like to go and review all that stuff, because we rushed through it, and we crammed, and I don't know. There's been times when I've wanted to go back and, go back and look at that, because I'm curious. So, flat Earth, I don't know. We were always told that it was, a globe. And I remember, I don't know, at one point in time they had, you had to dim all the lights, close the lights, they say in Quebec, close the lights. And then they turn on a light bulb, and it was a scientific apparatus to show you the light bulb was symbolic of the sun and the light shining on, the earth. And then the thing was all mechanical, so they could push it around and show you the earth going around the sun and spinning at the same time. So, I mean, it's pretty early on, they let us know that that's what science said. So the flat earth stuff, well, first thing you're going to get is cognitive dissonance, which you learned in first year psychology at university. Cognitive dissonance is a known phenomenon in the human brain, and that's when existing facts that you've taken to be facts, real facts, science is science, it can't be changed. It's a fact forever. And new information that comes in, and it wants to percolate into your mind, but your cognitive dissonance is armor. It's armor that you have over your brain. You've got brain armor. What do you do? It's called reactive mind. If it sounds like bullshit, it's bullshit. And you say, that's bullshit. And then you find out sometimes you called bullshit and it wasn't bullshit. And then you have egg all over your face and you're humbled and humiliated because you got reactive mind that called bullshit on something that really wasn't. And then if you notice you have a pattern of always calling bullshit and being wrong, then you got I don't know, you run your mouth. In other words, you run your mouth. You just talk out of your ass is another way of putting it. You're just talking out your ass. In other words, you don't have a clue. You're running your mouth. You're a stupid fuckface. You don't know what you're talking about. And then you're going to say, well, you got this armor up. And part of your mind is in it's right. You can buy reactive armor for a tank. I've seen it. Jane's Defense Weekly, maybe, or Popular Science. They talked about it. Because they wanted advancements on armor for tanks. So active armor is like, it senses that there's a shell coming in to hit the tank, and then on the side of the tank, there's an explosive charge that explodes out. And then the explosion out takes out the missile coming in before it even hits the tank. Sometimes, I just give you these facts. I mean, I'm no slouch. I know what I'm talking about. Okay, so flat Earth. Here it is. I was going to demonstrate something, but, rather than, telling you that, they gave me one of those mind puzzles. And, well, what is my answer whether flat Earth is real? I saw some things, mirages, let's say, I don't know, a week ago. Well, it was like, I was looking out on Lake Superior, and, there's ice on the lake, and the icebreaker was going by. It's a big red Canadian icebreaker, the Samuel Risley. And then the Samuel Risley went out beyond the breakwater of the Thunder Bay Harbor and went out further because it has to break a path because there's still, ships that are, out crossing Lake Superior today. They're carrying mostly grain. And so the icebreaker breaks a path for them to go through. So anyway, the Samuel Risley is way out there. Way, way out there. And the mirage effect is a magnification. The Samuel Risley looked way bigger to my eye than it should have for that vast distance that it was away from shore. It was hugely magnified. So, I would attribute it to something to do with the water of Lake Superior is still warmer than the air. The air right now is like 30 below Celsius. It's very, very cold, but the water is still, relative to the air, warm. Still holds a lot of heat. It's had a whole summer of warm weather warming up that water in that enormous lake. So it's a heat sink. So that's why, it's 30 below and you can still ship to Thunder Bay. Because that lake stays warm enough. Now, usually, very soon it's going to be too much ice for the Samuel Risley to break through. And then they're just going to, what they do is they shut it down in the season, I don't know, for a few months. And then come spring, it all thaws out. And they start shipping again. Flat Earth. One time, a few years ago, I was UFO hunting at nighttime, and I bought some binoculars, and I stayed out all night, and I did see some UFOs. I did. And then I also like to look at the moon and the stars with my binoculars. And I looked up at the moon, and there was a big black chunk. It didn't really look like teeth marks, but it looked like there was a chunk of the moon that was missing. I looked multiple times. I'd been seeing UFOs that night. Yep. Also strange planes. Anyways, I saw this chunk out of the moon. So what does it make me think? Well, I think that I don't know, there's multiple explanations for what I've seen. The extraterrestrials and the UFOs were monkeying with my mind was probably what was happening, because that happens to me every day. Demonic activity by high-tech means. And if they're not extraterrestrial, then they're somewhere else on the flat earth. But there are people who have got the ability to fuck with your mind, just like in the movies Men in Black, with that little gizmo that they flash in your face. Just like that. It's real, and they do by remote control. They can do all kinds of horrible things by remote control. And that's why we're getting rid of all the demonic stuff and the demonic things that keep bothering me, and have been for 5 years, are artificial intelligence. They're not real people, but they are evil, and I don't know if we're going to get them all to change, but some of them have given up their evil ways, and I don't know. It's the carrot and the stick, because I don't have an army or anything that's shooting at these extraterrestrials, but metaphysical writer Stuart Wilde talks about it on his website, stuartwilde.com, STUARTWILDE.com. He talks about the Aluna fighters, ALUNA, and those people are fighting demonic in what he calls inner worlds. And there are armies from other worlds, the celestial worlds, led by, Jesus. Mm-hmm. Jesus, Hanuman. Well, if you don't know who that is, Hanuman. I don't know. We're expecting Mark Alley to come through. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Well, either these demons voluntarily give up their demonic ways or they're going to be wiped out by various, forces of light that are. Did I tell you what the color? This color here is the color. It's kind of a green, yellowy green. This is the color of the Galactic Federation of Light. And if you see this color and GFL on it, in Canada, Green for Life is a new dumpster company, and they've got their dumpsters all over town, and they never used to be here. And now they are on this color. This is quite prevalent, and it says GFL, which is the same as Galactic Federation Light. Is that a coincidence? Don't think so. Anyways, this time is the time for you personally to spend raising your consciousness on the scale of human consciousness. And how do you do that? Well, I don't know. How did you make your consciousness so low in the first place? Just reverse whatever you did. That's what the galactics are going to say. And as a human, you're going to go, that don't make no sense to me, fella. I've always been this way. And the galactics are going to say, okay, then you were, I don't know, you were in that reincarnation cycle? Huh? What the Hindus say, that, after you die, then you get reborn again as a human again, and again and again and again and again. And the Tibetan Buddhists say, not only can you just be reborn as a human, but you might get reborn as a duck. Well, that's what they say. So anyways, the galactics are going to say, that's where you are. You've been trapped in a reincarnational cycle, perhaps for thousands of years. You. Little old you. Being a duck and a human and enslaved by the Romans, and I don't know. So they're going to say, well, then they're going to, oh God, you don't know how to raise your vibration. Because they're going to look at you and say, this is an impossible thing, because I don't know how to teach you, stupid human, how to do this. Because I don't even do it. It's just like done for me. Everything is, because I just like, they're like in higher dimensions where things are synchronicity and serendipity. It's not hard work. It's just being there and just enjoying life, truly enjoying yourself and others, and well, that's why we want you to go to the fifth dimension, so you don't live shitty lives anymore. Well, you're a spirit having a human experience, and it's your spirit that we have to lift. So what's blocking you from being like those galactics is, whatever you did to put yourself in the reincarnational cycle. See, if you ask me, Bobby Bros is like, I don't have a fucking clue. I don't remember past lives. So I know the galactics are going to go, I'm exasperated, and they're going to look at me, Bobby Bros, they're going to say, you're going to have to figure this out, human. Because you're going to have to figure this out, and then you're going to have to be able to explain it to other humans who are just like you, who are so perplexed when we say, raise your vibration. Because none of you can understand, because you don't know, because it doesn't make any sense at all. It sounds cuckoo. You think all these extraterrestrials that are channeling through, you think they're nuts. I do. Because the things they say is like, I can't do it. I don't understand. It doesn't feel, you're saying it and it doesn't make no sense. And my head just spins around like a ditz. Anyways, they do give the same job to you that they gave to me. It's like, you still have to gotta figure this out. So then you have to look at the human masters. So, I don't know. So I went on a hunt. Who are the human masters? Well, I don't know. You go to used bookstores and there's like walls and walls of used books. And you just go browsing around there and then you stumble across self-help. You look at Tony Robbins. Nah, it's not what I'm really looking for. It's not. I know I got that big flipping brick of a book, The Giant Within, Awaken the Giant Within or something. I couldn't. It was too thick, too many words. No. So anyways, a million more times, and you come across the right section, which is the metaphysical section of a used bookstore, or perhaps it might say spiritual. A better used bookstore would say metaphysical. I don't know, it sounds more interesting. And then you'd read about the masters and blah, 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 blah. And then you go on and, you'd read Yogananda's famous book, Autobiography of a Yogi. That book is especially important because Illuminati stooge, a fictitious person, clone of John Lennon, Apple founder, Apple Records, Apple Computer, John Lennon. You look at him, he is the same face as Apple founder Steve Jobs. And the fictitious person was killed off, and they said at Steve Jobs' funeral, everyone got a copy of Yogananda's book, Autobiography of a Yogi. It was said Jobs read the book twice a year because of the incredible, fantastic stories that are told in that book, that he wants you to get interested in, that they might actually be possible. Because most of the time you watch superheroes on the big screen, and as a human it's impossible to do these things. It's always fictitious. But we've given you an out because the Jewish Kabbalah, Jewish mysticism, the Aquarian Gospel of Christ, or is it Aquarian Gospel of Jesus? By Levi, mysterious book. I think it came out of hippie counterculture. So I don't know, 1968. Games People Play by Robert DeRopp, must-have book. Must-have. To understand the human psyche. Dr. DeRopp, Robert DeRopp, Games People Play. You must come to a good understanding because these are the games that you play. And Dr. DeRopp is going to tell you there's only one game worth playing, all in, on planet Earth. And that's the full title of his book. It's called The Master Game. You got to have that book. You got to have that book on your shelf so that if you're not going to read it, that your 12-year-old kid or cousin or somebody who's 12 years old is going to come by and want to read that book surreptitiously, because 12-year-olds don't want you to know what they're reading, because a lot of times they're reading Playboy magazine or something. They don't want you to know. It's just horrible. Okay, what else do we need to tell you? Okay, so the Galactics are telling you, okay, you have to raise your consciousness. Why do you need Games People Play, the Master Game? Why do you need that book? Because in order to raise your consciousness, you have to let go of ego games. And that book lists all of the ego games in general categories that humans play. And DeRopp said the only game worth playing all in Texas Hold'em, that means you put all your chips in. Every last one, you don't even keep one. All in. I'm playing the Master Game. So you got to know what these ego games are, because you're all playing them. And you need to understand from the perspective of a wise person, Robert DeRopp, why you need to let go. Because it's your life. And the only thing you can take with you into the great beyond is the Master. That's the only one. And he explains why in his book. So it gets into your logical, rational, intellectual ego mind, the part of you that really, really is in control, the part of you that makes sure that in the end, am I going to make money on this deal or am I wasting my time? That part of you that kicks in, like, it's like, This is going to cost me too much fucking money. I don't have it, and I had this money reserved for, like down payment in my house. I know. It's like 3 weeks in the Mediterranean, and my rich friends are going. And that part of you is saying, you know, I learned about maxing out my credit cards when I was in my 20s. So, it cost me an unbelievable amount of interest and hassle to pay off that. I had to work like double shifts for a long time to pay off my enormous credit card bill once I finally figured out what a trap it was. So, people like that are going to be like, seriously, that 3 week trip? No, I'm not going to go. What is that? That's mental armor. That's brain armor. Is it cognitive dissonance? Yeah, the facts are I don't have the money to spend 3 weeks in the Mediterranean with my rich friends, and they're not going to sponsor me, ergo I ain't going. Right? Right? Am I right? That's once you get to be a certain age, when you got gray in your beards, everybody's like that. It's the school of hard knocks, and the fuck I'm going to run up my credit card again. Right? Am I right or am I right? I'm right. But that's brain armor. Because anytime something comes in, the first thing that's going to happen is that's bullshit. Because what if this particular time, this trip to Europe was part of a pilgrimage for you? There's a movie on Netflix, Martin Sheen, The Pilgrimage. Go watch that. Because something major just happened in your life, perhaps. In Martin Sheen's case, there was a death in his nuclear family. A death that shook him. So much so that, is off balance. And someone gave him this idea about going to this pilgrimage place in Europe. Where people go when, they're like, I gotta go find myself and I gotta do something. I mean, I'm gonna go squirrely sitting here. I have got to do something physical. And I don't know. I need lots of fresh air and sunshine. And I need like-minded people. I need new people. So that's why maybe that is the time for you not to spend time at the resort or at somebody's house, but to say, yeah, it's a good idea to go to the Mediterranean. Absolutely, but not with you people. Good idea. Thank you very much. Sir, I'm not going with you. And then privately on your own, after you watch that Martin Sheen movie, maybe you decide you don't need to spend the money because you just went with Martin Sheen on that pilgrimage. And maybe you got something out of it. Or maybe maybe that's enough for you. Maybe it's enough, just that movie. Because it's a transformation of Martin Sheen, and you participate. So, watching that movie might be good. Or maybe you're going to take my advice and say, don't watch that movie. You go on a pilgrimage. You do it. Now, you could go on Google and see where he went. Just use Google and say that's where he went. Or you could say, I could go on pilgrimage anywhere. I could go, pilgrimage to the north side of town. If I live in Springfield, I could go to Shelbyville for a day. Here's another one you could do, cheap. Go to your novelty shop. Or maybe go to Home Depot and buy safety glasses. Either red, yellow, or orange. And then your pilgrimage, you put those glasses on and you keep them on. Go walk your neighborhood, but with red-colored glasses. Rose-colored glasses. No, red. I bought red ones off the internet, off Amazon. Very red. Ruby red. So it makes everything ruby red, and I went for a long walk. It really changes your reality. Absolutely. Does it make it? Yes. Pleasantville movie. Did you ever see that? It shows you kind of like that. But, do it yourself. Don't watch all the movies all the fucking time. Because you got this thing. Go out and take it for a walk. Wearing those glasses. Everything looks different. and it resets your mind. And all this mind armor, brain armor, I don't know. It becomes kind of foreign to you. It's like, I don't want to carry the baggage of all this mind armor because it's like this totally new sensation. And then, the mind armor is like, I don't know. It's like, I don't want all that shit. I want, because this is new and fresh, and I haven't had new and fresh so long, and I don't want to carry all that heavy weight of all this armor. Because what is it? It's just mental blocks. It's heavy, and it's like sticky and icky and low vibe. So go for your walk and keep dropping all the baggage, because it's just going to be certain annoying things. And that's a pilgrimage as well. The whole idea is you and transformation. By Osho's Transformation Tarot and Zen Tarot. Two of them. Now, quite often you can find them online. If you can and you're cheap, then go online. And what I want you to especially do is read every card in the Zen Tarot and more importantly, the Transformation Tarot. You have to buy one, buy them both. But get Transformation Tarot if you can only get one. But you might be able to find it on the internet, in which case you don't have to spend any money at all. Anyway, the take home is read the Transformation Tarot and the Zen Tarot. Descriptions of the cards, the words. You need those words because they're fantastic. They're fantastic for you going on a pilgrimage within you as you are now. But if you get the cards and you use them every day, or just have them available, pull a card when you get up in the morning. Every day. Just put them on your bedside table, and every day, my morning card. One from the Zen Tarot, one from the Transformation Tarot, and keep doing it. And give these ones away at birthdays and Christmas. And just as a friend gift, just because I wanted to get you something and I didn't know what to do. Those two tarot card decks. What about the tarot card decks? Difficult, because some of them are very difficult. But these ones, start off with those. Rumpelstiltskin loves the Halloween Tarot. Who's Rumpelstiltskin? Once Upon a Time? Yeah. Yeah, he loves that one. Favorite. Okay, so we talked about Flat Earth. Is there anything else that I want to tell you about Flat Earth? Well, no. Could you simulate a flat Earth? In a holodeck on Star Trek The Next Generation, for example. In a holodeck, you could simulate a flat Earth. You could simulate a globe Earth, couldn't you? You could simulate a starship in there if you had a big enough holodeck or something, couldn't you? Well, there was a book called The Holographic Universe by Michael Talbot, decades ago. Well, if his book is right, then we're living in the great big hologram. And we're holographic characters like the Doctor in Star Trek Voyager. Well, I don't know. He's a holographic character in a holographic world. Well, I know, but he was like holographic. And they originally had those people in the hologram, in the holodeck. And then they developed a way to give them an emitter so that they could holographically walk around in a non-holodeck reality. So are there holographic people, like the Doctor here on planet Earth, that appear to be human but are not? They just appear. So, okay, so I'm just going to do a muscle test on that. So remember how you do that? Okay, you take your fuck-off finger and your thumb, hold them together tightly, and then you put what you want to test by muscle testing in the form of a sentence. There are holographic people like the Doctor here on planet Earth now. I'm in January 2022. I get yes. There are holographic people, like the Doctor on planet Earth. Are they walking around? They're walking around. Okay, I live in Thunder Bay, Canada. They're in Thunder Bay, Canada? No. They're in Los Angeles? And they're in Los Angeles. They're in Vancouver, Canada? Los Angeles. They're in New York City. They're in Tokyo. They're in London, England. They're in Paris. They're in Paris. They're in Rome? No. They're in Athens. They're in Nice? Yes. They're in Monaco? Yes. They're in Moscow? No. They're in Jamaica? They're on Epstein's Island? No. They're in Hawaii? Yep. Okay. How many are these holographic people on planet Earth? Over 10,000? Over 100,000? Over 1 million? Over 2 million? Over 1 million? Over 1.5 million? 1.4 million? 1.4 million. These people originated with Earth technology. They're extraterrestrial technology. Okay, the collective of these holographic people on planet Earth, as a collective, the collective calibrates over 200 on the scale of human consciousness. Over 300. 300. Okay, so they're not high enough in consciousness because the new galactic law for planet Earth is minimum 540 on the scale of human consciousness in order to be on this planet. So those people are here illegally. What's 540? Your dog wagging his tail, being so happy when she sees you. Dogs are God. Remember? A happy dog, that's 540 on the scale of human consciousness. That happy dog and the way you feel when you feel happy when you got your happy dog, that's 540. That's the minimum level of the state of consciousness, the minimum on the scale of human consciousness. Anything under that is here illegally. So who is going to roust all of these? Well, the problem is that the collective of humanity, humans don't get the mustard. Okay, let's get all the, I don't know, well, we're going to call the holographic people humans as well, part of the human collective, yes? Yes. Okay, so we're going to include the holographic people and the organic human people. There's other kinds of people, yes? Do they appear human? Yes. Oh, good God. Okay, we'll include everybody that's appearing human on planet Earth, yes? And the collective calibrates over 200, 201, 202, 203, 203. 203, the whole collective. That's shitty. Well, that's what Dr. Hawkins of consciousness research got, I don't know, 20 years ago. So, and that's why in my own community I got 201 when I tested the other day. So, I still got a lot of work in order to educate people on getting up higher on the scale of human consciousness. Make sure that you subscribe and share me out because I'm doing consciousness research right here in these videos. Live on this video in this now moment, so we can be all educated on what the hell's going on. So the takeaway is there's like holographic humans like the Doctor walking around here on planet Earth, plus other kinds of people that are not I don't, not exactly. I don't know. I mean, I'm in a grand. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out if I'm a toaster because I was on that TV show Battlestar Galactica many years ago as a movie extra. And people that were like in the show sometimes turned out to be toasters. In other words, androids or something. And they did like movie dream sequences where a beautiful girl was I don't know, she like astral projected into Doctor, what's his name? Gaius Baltar, or was it Gaius? Gaius or Gaius? Gaius is kind of gay. But Gaius is kind of a guy. Gaius Baltar. I played a body double for Gaius Baltar. Me. Towards the end of the series, spoiler alert, Baltar is dead, and the actor, I guess, did whatever part, and then there was parts where they wanted to do just showing his dead body and not needing his face anymore. So so they cut him loose, and then they pay me fuck all to be his body double in his death scene. Me. So technically, I don't know. Are you going to say I'm Gaius Baltar? I played the part of his dead body. Me. I don't know. What did I get to do it? I probably made basic, that deal. I probably did pretty good. I probably made the union wage. I don't know, $22 an hour. What I'm normally making, I don't know. How much did I make on set? I don't have to pay. I had $8.50 an hour after I paid my agent 15%. Anyway, so yeah, that was a good paying day that day. I don't know, maybe 4 hours. That movie business doesn't pay well for the unbelievable amounts of money they would pay the actor who played Gaius Baltar. Show his face. So what does it mean? Well, the dead part of Gaius Baltar as a character, as a small footnote that nobody is, I don't know. Does the movie keep track of all these things later on? Is like in the databases? Did they delete these old databases? I don't know. It was a long time ago. Nevertheless, as a footnote to history, just for the record, that was me playing the body double of Gaius Baltar on Battlestar Galactica. I don't know, 2005 maybe. So, just call me Gaius Baltar, because I played the character on TV. I did. So give me some latitude as an actor to play Gaius Baltar for you as a new character. Please subscribe and share, because in the future I am going to bring in the character of Gaius Baltar if the demonic allow it, because it's always by agreement with the demonic who haunt me. Because if they don't want, then they just make my life so difficult that I have to surrender, and what a fucking pain in the ass they are. Anyways, why do we want to talk about Gaius Baltar? Because he was one of these people where the Cylons beamed into his head this vivid hallucination of this sexy woman that he was having an affair with, perhaps on this alternate Earth planet called Caprica. Caprica was a TV series for about a year, and it's it's a prequel to Battlestar Galactica. What was the human society like before Battlestar Galactica? They had to go off on the space race across the galaxy or something, looking for escaping the Cylons, who were AI, artificial intelligence androids, who were, at war with them. Kind of like what might be going on right now here on the universe. I do know. Art imitates life, imitates art, is an old saying. I gotta go. Don't forget, please subscribe and share, and please give me a thumbs up. Everybody else gets thumbs up. I mean, at least if you watch part of the video, at least give me a thumbs up. Why? Is it like so like weak of you. You seem like it's humiliating to you. You know, it's like I don't know. It's ingratitude. Well, I don't know. It's just after years and years of having Facebook, it's like, well, quite often I sort of go out of my way when people make the effort to post something or go to the effort to make a video. Really, I mean, they're putting out human effort, and if you're watching it, and you're not gonna like, it's not like watching um, Netflix or something, but you will, recommend a good movie to somebody else. So why not recommend a good video to somebody else and give me a thumbs up, even if you don't like it? Because you should at least acknowledge that I tried. I mean, E for effort. Sometimes, a bad student will pass a course because they tried. They really did. And they're too dumb and they're never going to understand it. But, they came in for extra help and whatever. They got tutors and everything. In the end, the kid shouldn't have never taken the course. So I'll give you a pass because you put in effort. That's what I'm going to give you.